Hey everyone, before we start today's podcast, we'd just like to apologize for the podcast not releasing last week. We've had a lot of technical difficulties. I unfortunately have to admit that it was probably one of our best podcasts that we've ever done, but we are trying as hard as we can to release it. And until then, we will film this podcast right here. And here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am feeling very lucky today. Kind of want to go to the casino.
You gotta go on Google and put feeling lucky.
Yeah, you're right.
What's up? What's going on?
Oh, it's the 7th episode of Maritime Wrestletime. That's right, Lucky 7. Let's go for those slots.
Lucky number 7.
That's right.
What is this podcast, Alex?
It is Maritime Wrestletime, the best source of maritime news regarding wrestling, AEW, WWE, NXT, and others that may be interesting or entertaining.
I might as well just set you up for that now. Just for I'm team trying to be the best.
Team trying to be the best. I don't know anyone who's any other team than that.
Team TTBB trying to be the best. There's another team there. Never mind. Exactly. So we got a podcast today. Alex, what do you got on the table for us today? You have the notes.
Well, we will be giving a review of the Clash of Champions pay-per-view that happened.
Ooh.
Really good pay-per-view.
New champ.
After that, we will be talking about a little bit of AEW. We will be talking about the NXT pay-per-view that happened, which was on a Sunday, actually.
Finally.
Not a Saturday.
Thank God. Well, whatever.
It's kind of cool. Yeah. And then we will talk a bit about Smackdown and Raw that happened over the past 2 weeks.
That did happen over the past 2 weeks.
After that, we will do Bad Booking, which this week is your Bad Booking. Uh-oh. After that, we will have our Creative Team Corner, which is mine this week.
Just started a new segment last week that we are trying to release to you guys.
Yes. And we will finish it off with fan questions.
Yeah.
From, Patty Pat.
Of course. So what was first again? Sorry,
Clash of Champions.
Clash of Champions. We have a new champion.
We do.
I think we have one new one from the actual pay-per-view. But Alex wins the predictions for the first time. He is a one-time predictions champ. He is one behind me, as we tied one of them, and I won the first two, I believe. I think that's about it went. I don't remember. I think it was something like that. Anywho, so congratulations to Alex. Hopefully your predictions go better from here on out, and you can catch up to me on the next pay-per-view, Hell in a Cell.
Absolutely. Let's start off with the pay-per-view.
Yeah, let's do it.
A match between Asuka and Zelina Vega.
Short match.
Yeah.
But Zelina held her own there. I think it was kind of one of those things because it felt like they just didn't book them with enough time. Mostly because I think the ambulance match was really long because they had to get all those legends in there. But good small little match. Zelina impressed me. I believe that she can easily be a female star, and I think she would get the... She kind of... I mean, I don't want to be too much stereotypical here, but because she did play her in the movie, but she does kind of... To me, she looks like an AJ Lee kind of wrestler.
Yeah.
Not only the talent and the mic skills, but like, I don't know, the sneaky heel kind of AJ Lee was. So that's how I see her anyways, and I think that she could easily branch off and be a good solo star.
Yeah, I was... Before the match, I was a little bit skeptical of putting her straight into a title picture. But, she wrestled really well. Even though it was a short match, like you said. No real complaints from the match.
Asuka retains,
which, as she should.
She should. She's the good female in that brand right now. She's the...
solid 3-star match.
Yep, for sure.
Next up, we have Bayley versus Asuka.
Yeah.
Which was kind of a shock.
Yeah, kind of a shock. I'm not going to lie, I was kind of hoping for an NXT call-up there.
Yeah.
Just because of, like, sometimes when they go unpredictable and, or some, no, I shouldn't say that. Sometimes when they have a thing that they have to change whoever is wrestling on the day of.
Yeah.
You kind of always hope for it to be just like, oh shit, it's something we really did not see coming because I don't think they saw it coming. But shout out to Asuka again working 2 pay-per-views,
Yeah.
2 matches in the same pay-per-view. And she did that in SummerSlam too, so she's been doing it a lot. She's really helping the company out, so
Absolutely.
shout out to her. And match finished in a disqualification, and now which is fine.
Yeah.
I believe it was the best way to book it in a last minute scenario case because Asuka won't gain anything or lose anything. She was just there to work for it. Bayley gets heat with Sasha, which is what they are obviously building for.
Yep.
So to me, it makes sense.
Yeah, the match was great. I think it went the way it should have went. Obviously, I would have really liked to see Nikki Cross versus Bayley here.
You would have screamed in my ears all night.
It would have been amazing, but Nikki Cross had to isolate herself because she was in contact with someone who has COVID. I don't think Nikki Cross has COVID.
Not from what I've heard, but to be fair, we haven't really heard anything from
because she hasn't been on Smackdown since either. So I don't know.
I just hope the only thing that I don't want to see happen is her getting buried because she had it. Yeah, which could actually be a case here. Yeah. So let's just pray and hope that that's not the case. Yep. But I don't know. Do I even see Nikki Cross as a champion? That's another question I have to ask her.
I would love that. Yeah. I think it'd be great.
It'd be great, depending on how they book it, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. Solid match. 3-star match for me.
Yeah. I don't have any stars for any matches, but
that's fair.
I'll agree or disagree if I have to, but for now, so far, I'm agreeing with what you said.
Next up, Cesaro and Shinsuke versus the Lucha House Party.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Cesaro working. Yeah. I think at 2 points in the match, he helicoptered one of the Lucha House Parties because he knows that that's what they do, the high flying stuff, right? Yeah. So it's just a match to promote more, I think, of Cesaro and Shinsuke.
Thank God they didn't make the Lucha House Party win.
But you know what? I was thinking about what you were saying the last few weeks, where it's like, oh, Lucha House Party's beating Cesaro and Shinsuke. Yeah. That doesn't make any sense, and I agree that it doesn't make any sense. But for storyline purposes, to get to the pay-per-view match, that's kind of where I go. Okay, that kind of makes sense. But what the frick is happening with Lucha House Party? I do not understand this angle.
I don't know. They're trying to make them fight from the inside.
Are they trying to make them to go to 205 Live by having a triple threat match between all three? And
I don't know.
That doesn't make sense to me. But that's another tag team being broken up by WWE.
Which shouldn't be happening, though.
Because why not?
It is what it is. And especially so close to the draft, too.
Yeah, I agree.
Whatever. Next is the triple threat match between Jeff Hardy, AJ Styles, and Sami Zayn. Yeah. One hell of a match. Yep.
I might have my own rating on that one, depending. But
in my eyes, that was match of the night. In my eyes.
That's a good question. I'm not sure, actually, but I'll think about it. Mm-hmm. But to get back to that match, that was the best winner there. AJ Styles right now is kind of just going through the motions, I think. I don't know if he still wants to be with WWE anymore. It kind of feels that way. Yeah. Jeff had a very scary fall at one point off the ropes with a ladder. I was really scared.
That was brutal.
And you know what? It's kind of like I know I'm a huge Jeff Hardy fan, but I'm starting to get more and more nervous every time there's a ladder match. Mm-hmm. Just because I do not want to see him get more hurt.
It's a harsh reality, but he really is just one bad fall away from some bad injury.
And at one point, it felt like he had one bad fall there. Yeah. But Swan Tom'd again. Yeah. Right through a ladder. Mm-hmm. They're still doing that. Mm-hmm. It's just the Hardys right now. Matt's going through some shit with AEW, and now Jeff is still flying high and jumping off ladders and all that kind of stuff. So I love the Hardy Boys, but I don't. Yeah. I want to see them to live in old age or something.
Yeah, really interesting use of handcuffs in that match. Yeah, with Sami Zayn putting handcuffs around Jeff Hardy's ears.
Yes. Well, that's what I was getting to on my point there. I just stopped for a second. I don't know why. Yeah. But Sami was the best character to win there.
100%.
100%. The heel guy, the heel Canadian boy. Yeah. That found a way to make it interesting again. Mm-hmm. Found a way to make winning the ladder match as a heel mean something. And handcuffing Hardy's ear to a ladder, handcuffing AJ's hand to a ladder, was the perfect way for a heel to win.
Yeah, the whole character of him being this like paranoid guy who thinks he's still the champion and then actually wins the championship match afterwards.
Absolutely.
Insane. Amazing.
Good booking there for sure. And
4-star match for me.
I'm excited to see who Sammy works with next.
Yep, 4-star match for me, definitely.
Yep.
Next up, the U.S. title match between Bobby Lashley and Apollo Crews.
I think it was just a way to get more heat on Bobby.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to be...
Promote the Hurt Business.
Yeah. The Hurt Business needs to be on TV.
Yeah.
And
it was okay.
Bobby Lashley works.
Yeah. Nothing really wrong with the match.
Yep.
2.5 stars.
It's this kind of thing where you're like, oh shit, what's going to happen to Apollo?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like there's a bigger story here with the Hurt Business that I'd rather see. So, sorry.
I kind of want to move on from this Bobby Lashley Apollo Crews storyline.
Yep, me too.
I want to see something more with the Hurt Business. I feel like they've established themselves now, which is what the whole Apollo Crews, Cedric Alexander Ricochet angle part was.
Yep.
Now that they've established themselves, they need to step it up a bit.
Yeah, I think they need
something bigger.
I think they need bigger opponents, and it looks like they are going to get bigger opponents.
Looks like they are, yeah. Next up, we have Street Profits versus Andrade and Angel Garza.
The match where Angel Garza got hurt.
Yeah.
Or did he get hurt? Has he been on TV since?
I don't think so. I can't remember.
I don't know. I don't know if there's an injury update on him.
I know he wasn't on last.
Isn't it what was the most frightening thing for you that night? Was it Jeff Hardy jumping off the ladder again, or was it when the ref threw the X for Angel Garza?
No, I think it was still Hardy for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he kind of I know what you mean. There's a report here. Let's see. It's supposed to be him.
Oh, I have hiccups.
How long will he be out for? So he did get legitimately hurt.
Okay. A lot of injuries.
My injury did not come from the Spanish Fly. An injury from the Spanish Fly could have been worse. Thank goodness the injury came later. Landed on my neck. Was not standing fully right on the ropes, and Montez launched himself when I was still not fully planted on the ropes. Matter of that, my mind went like spin, and that's the result you saw. It's a small tear in his quad, apparently.
Okay.
So I don't know how long that's going to be. I'm going to see if I can find.
My mind is saying a couple months.
He said that the doctor said that it could have been a lot worse if he kept going. So thank God that the ref put the X up.
Yep. Good job on the ref.
It just said honestly. It just says it's not a long-term injury, so he should be back pretty soon. Good. And he was when we were looking for the drafting, his name was on the list, so he should be back pretty soon. Probably like 2-3 weeks.
Okay, that's not bad.
So
I mean, it's still bad that he got injured. But,
it's one of those. You got lucky, and please be careful when you're working together. Good match. Montez to me is the best kept secret in WWE right now. Just because he can fly everywhere, he can talk like crazy, and Angelo's good too. I'm not bashing Angelo in any way, but Montez. I love watching Montez wrestle.
Absolutely agree. 3-star match for me.
Yep.
Let's see what's next. We got Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso. I have mixed feelings about this match.
You have mixed feeling?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought...
Take her out on another date.
I wasn't ready for that one.
You're welcome.
Yeah, no, I thought the match itself was okay. They wrestled each other fine, but I did not like the finish.
I love the finish.
I thought the finish was... it was too Hollywood. It was like way too over the top.
Okay. My thing here was it was kind of a proving ground for me to know if that Roman could finally be a heel.
Yeah.
Because the first match that he did, he literally just went in the ring and won it. Only for like a minute or two. This was the match that was like, oh my god, he's actually being a heel for a full match now. How's it going to go? He had a new look. Yeah. No more jacket or whatever, vest or whatever. And
yeah, that's right. He did come out shirtless.
Yeah, he did. So I'm a fan. I'm a fan of this new Roman character.
Oh, I love the new Roman character.
I think it worked. I think that whoever's booking the Roman heel stuff, especially with the new match in Hell in a Cell coming up, I loved it. And it's one of those things where it was like it was different because that's not usually how you would finish a pay-per-view. But to cement a heel Roman Reigns, I think it was perfect.
Yeah, that's absolutely. I mean, it was good that Roman Reigns won. I don't disagree with that. I feel like the acting was kind of cheesy when it came to the whole, like every time Roman Reigns would like hit Jey Uso and get him on the ground or something, he would always like pace around the ring and be like, "I always told you to just take the money, man. You had to go for the money."
The money?
What is
it's not about the money.
What are you talking about, Roman? It's kind of odd.
Yeah, but they could be setting up for something else. You never know.
Yeah,
so.
I mean they are having another match at Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
so
we have 2 matches for Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
So far. So.
And then the last match of the pay-per-view, Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton.
See, this is my fight for match of the night.
Okay. It was a good match.
It was a great match because the Legend Killer gimmick worked really well there. A lot of fans were probably crapping their pants when Big Show showed up for the first time, then Christian showed up, then Shawn. The Sweet Chin music from the top of the ambulance was freaking cool. Great finish.
Yep.
They got me there a little bit. I thought that it was going to be... See, because obviously I want Randy Orton to win, like I always do, but the Claymore... I thought he was going to be a Claymore, and he was going to miss Randy. He was going to fly right in the ambulance, and Randy was going to close it and win that way. So I was kind of hoping that was going to happen.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, the Claymore, then Drew doing the punt, I thought was perfect. You know what? For me, that cements Drew a lot more. And it'll be interesting to see what they do at Hell in a Cell.
I think it's cool, but like I think you can't make Drew win at Hell in a Cell. I don't think it's actually possible to do it, unless
see, this is the thing for me that was kind of like eye-opening. Randy's won a lot of matches at Clash of Champion,
but
he's also won a lot of matches at Hell in a Cell. So I'm kind of like torn of like, are they trying to do a legacy thing here, or are they just trying to like
see? Because with all the legends that came back, Edge was not one of them.
No, because he's hurt.
That means they have to be setting up the Mania thing.
Yeah, I would imagine that Edge wants to work with Randy for Mania.
So my theory is the only way you can make Randy Orton lose to Drew is if either you put him to SmackDown or you put Drew to SmackDown and Roman Reigns to Raw.
Yeah, but that crushes Randy.
What do you mean?
Randy can't. Right now, Randy's character is too good a heel to go against Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And Roman is too good a heel to go against Randy Orton. So, in my opinion, Randy should win, and then you can send Drew to SmackDown to fight Roman. I would love to see Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns for the belt. I think that if it'll cement whoever you want it to win.
Would you want that at Mania?
They've already wrestled at Mania, but I think that would be the hard-hitting match that people would long want to see. Because you have to remember... The champ match, the way that they were doing their champion matches before Drew and Roman were champion was hard-hitting matches, which was like Fiend and Strowman or Brock versus Drew or something like that. So if they still want to keep to that formula of having a hard-hitting championship match, the match would be Drew versus Roman because we don't know if Brock Lesnar's ever going to sign again. So that's how I see it.
Because if not Drew, then who? Which...
My question to you is: do you think that Drew McIntyre would have 2 straight WrestleMania moments? Because I don't see that, just because of the way the business works.
Yeah, maybe not. I mean, I don't know.
Unless you make Roman win and make him more of a heel.
Oh, that's a ballsy move, but that's something that Vince would do. I still think the way they do it is they do Roman and Rock at Mania. So I know Rock said he's down for it.
That's quite a payday from Vince, though.
Yeah.
He released 30 guys just to pay The Rock for one WrestleMania, probably.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I was thinking about this, and I highly doubt they would do this, and I would not put money on it. But like, I could see like The Rock coming in at the Rumble to win it.
That would be bonkers.
That would be amazing.
That would be bonkers. Because where are we right now? We're in October.
In October,
so
it's in January.
Rumble's in 3 months.
Yeah.
And to me, right now, there's not really a clear-cut winner.
Right.
Because I'm trying to think of somebody that's emerging right now.
Just imagine like number 30, The Rock comes out.
Then The Rock wins.
And then The Rock wins.
You could have John Cena come out number 29 and have like the face-off again, and it doesn't amount to anything.
Yeah. Dabba-Kato number 30.
Dude, if Dabba-Kato's number 30, this is an AEW podcast.
The Raw Underground Security Guard number 30.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, I would love to see it.
Yeah.
It's always nice to see Rock back in wrestling.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, Roman still wins that, which works.
Yeah, that sets him up as a bigger heel.
Yeah.
Yeah. But see, I don't know. The way they've been booking the Rumbles lately is it's a guy that needs it to be a superstar,
right? To
be a pushed guy, because you just have to look at like the last three: Shinsuke, Seth, and McIntyre.
Yep.
Would they actually decide to go with a mainstream star? That's the big question, and I think that they would because they've done guys that needed that push for 3 years. Vince would probably be like, "Yeah, it's okay if we give it to say like okay." So for instance, if Cena would have never wrestled Roman, and they had that match, I wouldn't mind seeing Cena versus Roman at WrestleMania again. Well, not again, for the first time. That would have made sense. So I think that the storyline calls for someone big to win the Rumble.
Yeah.
To take on this character of Roman. And then if Roman wins, then that's... I'm in the stage of my life now where I'm happy to see Roman Reigns win.
Yeah, me too.
It's weird to say, but it's been a long time, but...
And, like, I think, too, and this is speculation because I haven't actually looked at the numbers for this, but I'm assuming that the actual numbers that they're pulling in now are a lot lower than they were pre-COVID. Obviously less sales in person and stuff like that.
Yeah, people are going back to their regular lives.
And a lot of people don't necessarily watch online and stuff. They like the in-person stuff, which I get it.
Yep.
It's fine. If I had that option, I would take that too.
Yep, for sure.
But yeah, I think if you want to have a really good WrestleMania turnout, you have to have some kind of big attraction, and what better big attraction than The Rock?
Yep, I agree. And I think that if they've actually made that much money, even if they haven't sold tickets to go, I think that could be easily a possibility. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was Clash of Champions.
And Alex, you have the belt till Hell in a Cell.
Correct. Possibly later.
Hopefully. You have to catch up still. Hopefully. You're still in the catch-up mood.
That's true. All right, Zach, All Elite Wrestling.
Yes, All Elite Wrestling happened a few times over the last few weeks.
Correct.
We have a new champion, TNT champion, Cody Rhodes.
Yes.
Watched a little bit of the match. Kind of... I thought the match was good. Brody got cut up pretty bad there.
Yeah.
It looked bad for Cody, too, because he kept getting all Cody's blood. It might have been Cody's blood at that point. I don't even know.
Yeah, that was what it was. I know there was blood everywhere.
Crossroads to finish Brody Lee. I thought that was a little bit interesting. I thought with the severity of a dog collar match, I thought they could have actually hammered each other a lot more.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see maybe 2-3 Crossroads, because you got to think that AEW, like, they have Lance Archer and they have Brian Cage, but they don't necessarily lose fast, or not necessarily fast, but they don't necessarily lose where it makes sense. Those two guys yet. I thought they had a chance to make someone like that in Brody Lee. They decided not to. Which makes sense, and we've got to talk about the fact that it's going to be Orange Cassidy versus Cody next week.
Oh my god.
First of all, great booking. Amazing booking, because, like we said before we started, when we figured out it was Orange Cassidy, Orange Cassidy was not going to be Brody Lee. That would not have made sense.
It's not that I don't want to see the match, it's that, it's just as you said, it doesn't really make sense.
It just wouldn't make sense. And now the fact that it's Cody versus Orange Cassidy, so it's probably the guy who has got the most... who's the hottest wrestler right now for AEW in Orange Cassidy versus literally pretty much the owner of AEW, Cody Rhodes. Going to be a good match as always.
Absolutely.
And Fuck, why not? Put the belt on Orange Cassidy. Why not?
I would love to.
Why
see
not?
That.
People would love to see it. I think
that would be
a great. It's going to be a great match regardless.
See, I like how I don't know if they do this with AEW, but you know in WWE how they have like the little side plates that they modify for each champion and stuff.
So it's just be an orange.
Just an orange. Yeah. I would love that so much.
Yeah. So here's hoping for Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
And we've decided for the rest of the AEW talk today, we are going to talk about Chris Y2J.
Oh, that Chris.
No, we can't. I don't know if we are allowed to talk about that guy.
We're allowed to, but I'm going to choose not to.
Okay, that's fair. So am I. Chris Jericho, 30 years of wrestling. Alex, what's your fondest memory of Chris Jericho?
Oh, well, I know the guy very well.
Yeah. You've known him for 30 years?
Known him for 30 years.
Since you've been... How old are you? 23?
22.
22.
Yeah, I've known him for 30 years. No, I don't know. Fondest memory of Chris Jericho. I think it would probably be when it was in WWE with the whole CM Punk straight edge thing.
Yeah.
When Chris Jericho came into the ring and basically just started like pouring alcohol all over him and stuff
trips
like that.
And falls.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. I like that whole storyline when Jericho was talking about Punk's father being an alcoholic, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Okay, I'll stop doing that." But your sister, and that's what they said. Your sister, like that, changed the whole crowd's persona and emotions on the match.
Yeah.
To me, the first time I watched Raw, Jericho was tag team champ with Big Show, and that whole stretch of them being tag team champs, I didn't realize it then because I was still young, but they were just a tag team to put more other people over. At that time, you don't realize that. You're like, oh, why are these assholes champion? But it was to put everybody else over. Yeah, I mean, Jericho has been the best for a while now. I mean, he's probably arguably the best Canadian wrestler of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, you could probably look at another Bret Hart maybe, or you could look at some guys like Zayn and Owens. There's future people that could be in the top 5. But best Canadian wrestler to me is Jericho, and I've only been watching wrestling 10 years, so I don't know a lot about the before that. But all of his accolades, all of his good matches. When he took Rey Mysterio's mask off to win the Intercontinental title. When he won the World Heavyweight title because Shawn Michaels and Undertaker were feuding. To me, Jericho is a top guy, and I think he deserves the anniversary show.
Did you hear Jericho's story about the night he won the title from Stone Cold and The Rock?
Yes, I did. The one where he drops the pizza on the with the guy that talks weird.
Yeah, the fact that he didn't have any notice beforehand that he was going to be winning that title.
The way he found out too.
Yeah, that was kind of funny.
Yes.
Like,
you know how the wrestling business is bad, Undertaker, when we put the belt on Jericho.
But like, imagine being Jericho and finding out in that way, like, hey, you're going over. You're going over in a match with The Rock and Stone Cold.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, those are two
that had to be his biggest night.
Huge names.
Yep. I think it was just Vince being like this. I mean, Jericho's that good.
Do you think that's the name or the day Jericho became Jericho?
I think Jericho was Jericho ever since he started. It's hard to say that, but if you think about one of the best debuts of history, you think about Jericho interrupting The Rock.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If you think about some of the best returns, Jericho returning for the Rumble.
You know, I completely forgot about this, but when I first got into wrestling and stuff like that, when I was 7 or 8 or whatever, and you know how YouTube will show you a bunch of recommended things that are based off the wrestling stuff after you watch wrestling videos and stuff like that.
Yep.
Well, for me, every video was Chris Jericho insulting Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah. I'm gonna get you too, Rhino.
Those are so good.
It's one of those things when I think of Jericho, I just think of amazing worker, an amazing mic person, amazing trash talker, amazing promo, and just he keeps reinventing himself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he went from this guy who you knew was the best and could put other people over at WrestleMania to finding the angle with Kevin Owens and being that, like, pesky heel that was such a heel that everybody loved.
He's never been stale.
Never been stale.
That's one thing that you can't say about a lot of people.
Yeah.
But you can say that about Jericho for sure. He's never been stale. Like, hell, I even remember when he used to wear, like, suits. Like, that's so not Jericho, but he made it work.
Yeah. He made putting on the makeup work.
Yeah.
He made... I mean, the amount of people he's putting over, that's the thing to me that's crazy. Like, all of his work is just so big for Vince, and I think at this point in Jericho's career, I don't know how much longer he has. I'm assuming it's not more than 5 years. It would be very petty if Vince would not put him in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
absolutely. For what he's done to that company, yeah.
He has to go in there, right?
He has to.
Being the first ever AEW champion,
Yep.
That's a huge accomplishment. And he picks his spots. Like, he knows who to put over at the right time. Jericho could have easily been like, I don't want to work with Orange Cassidy. He's a joke to the wrestling business.
Yeah.
But he had 3 matches with him to put him over.
Yeah.
Like,
that's because he knows that it's talent. He knows that this guy is great. This guy's going to be the future.
Exactly.
So he's working with him.
Yep. So, cheers to Jericho.
Yeah, mad respect.
Have a little bit of the bubbly.
Absolutely.
And here's to 5-10 more years of wrestling. Hopefully you get recognized because you deserve it.
Absolutely. All right. Next up, NXT.
Yeah, NXT was a thing. There was a takeover. Yeah. What was the first match?
First match. Damian Priest versus Johnny Gargano.
Yep. Good match.
Okay.
Well, I mean, an NXT match is a good match regardless.
Sure.
This was using Johnny Gargano to work with somebody new to make sure that person was over. It pushes Damian Priest now a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I think that Mr. Priest... first of all, that entrance with the fire and the flames all around was probably the coolest entrance I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
And the match was really good. Like, the counters, the way that Priest countered Johnny's finisher into his finisher was really cool. Yeah, Damian. Hopefully, Damian gets a little bit of a push because Damian Priest is kind of that talent where you're like, okay, well, he's getting a push now because they probably want to call him up to the main roster.
Yeah.
He's not like a Ciampa or Gargano that are going to stay in NXT for the rest of their lives. So, why not push the guy? I don't think he's got more than a year left there until he gets called up.
I agree.
So,
give him a good title run.
That's how I see it.
He can work, so.
Yep.
Next up, we got Kushida versus Velveteen Dream.
There was a lot of emotion in this match. Like, Kushida just kicking Dream's... there was so much work on Dream's arm.
Yeah. Where
at the end of the match, when he was screaming about his arm, I actually literally thought, like, this might be an injury. Like, what was going on?
Right.
Dream is so interesting to watch, and I like that's an obvious thing to say, but like I watch him do moves sometimes, and I'm like I don't know anybody else that does that move, and the Death Valley Driver and all that stuff. Dream, it was a good match. It's a way to promote Kushida. Now Kushida's, I think he's fighting with Ciampa, which will be fun as well.
Wow, yeah.
So Kushida needs a push. He's been there for almost a year, even more than a year.
Yeah, definitely more than a year.
And he wasn't doing anything. So here's the time. I think Velveteen Dream's a great person to go against. Shout out to Kushida for winning.
Absolutely. Next up was Santos Escobar versus Isaiah Scott.
Isaiah Swerve Scott.
Learn
the name.
Swerve Scott.
I went to, first of all, I went to see TakeOver with 2 of my friends.
Okay.
Not that you're not my friend, but with 2 other people.
I'm shocked.
You weren't answering. So, and they told me after the match that this was the best match of the night. And I did not believe them because I know the storylines for everybody else and I know all that stuff. They were just watching on the basis of I'm watching wrestling right now. Yeah, Swerve and Santos were working really well together. They hit pretty much all of their moves, all the high-flying stuff. It was an eye candy match.
Right.
Where it was just like, what are they going to do next?
Yeah.
Do I think it was match of the night? Maybe. But I think that NXT is the kind of thing where you could just roll a dice.
Yeah.
And that was the best match. So that's how I feel about it.
Sorry, your dice rolled the next match, actually.
Oh, okay. What's the next match?
Which is Io Shirai versus Candice LeRae.
Yeah. Johnny Gargano got involved too. Just ran down the ramp to put the referee jersey on, counted really fast, and Io still kicked out.
Yeah, this is one of the only matches from that I actually did watch.
Yeah.
Wow.
Io is champion right now.
Yeah.
I think Candice will be champion someday. Whenever they decide to push the heels of Gargano and Candice.
Yeah.
Because I could see a scenario easily where Io would get called up pretty soon.
Yeah.
Maybe have a match with Asuka. I think everybody would love that. And then you could see Candice as women's champ and Johnny as North American champ. Maybe Damian Priest gets called up at the same time. Candice and Io had a great match, as they always do. Their first TakeOver match probably blew the stadium away. This one also did really well. I still like the first one just a little bit more.
Yeah.
But the real stuff that happened was after the match. Because we have 2 new females in the NXT division.
Yes, we do.
It is Toni Storm and Ember Moon.
Yep.
Should we talk about that now, or should we wait?
No, let's talk about that now.
So, first of all, Toni Storm, probably the best that NXT UK had to offer now.
Yep.
Obviously, Rhea Ripley's the best one that came out of that. But Toni Storm was the best in NXT UK at that point. I think that Toni Storm is going to turn the heads for the Divas division. Oh my god, I can't say that. The female division in NXT. I'm not sure how they're going to book her right away, but I know that it's Triple H. He's going to do a great job.
Yep.
And Ember Moon, which was shocking to say the least. Because, first of all, to be fair, I did not know that character of all the vignettes would be coming that night. I figured they would have maybe waited a little bit more. This is the second scenario where someone from the main roster goes back to NXT. Of course, the first one being Finn Balor. I think this was the best move for her career. I really do, because the safe place to work with right now, to me, for her, would be NXT, just because, to me, the women's roster on Raw and SmackDown is really weak. And her being on that match doesn't help her career.
She needs some strong females.
She needs to be pushed again.
But, like, my thing, too, is, like, what did she even do on Raw or SmackDown? Like, she didn't do
She got
anything.
injured.
Yeah. She did
Unfortunately.
nothing.
Yeah, so to have her be back on NXT...
I'm excited
for all the matches we could see. Like,
I would love to see Ember Moon versus Io Shirai.
Yeah, I would love to see Ember Moon. You can name 5 girls.
You could name
Toni Storm. You could name Rhea Ripley. You could name Dakota Kai, Candice LeRae, all those girls.
Yeah.
Like crazy, crazy stuff. Yeah, like I'm excited to see what Ember Moon's gonna do.
Absolutely. And then final match of the TakeOver.
The injury match.
Yes, the injury match. Finn Balor versus Kyle O'Reilly. So,
I'm not going to say I was let down by this match, because I had really high expectations going in.
Right.
I think that they were... How do I explain this? I think that they weren't in sync when one of them got hurt. And that's not their fault. You know, somebody will get hurt. But I think that it hurt the match because of, like, first of all, Kyle O'Reilly definitely lost his breath. Like, when Balor hit him in the chest, the way his body was acting up, the way he had to wait a second, go down.
Yeah.
I knew that if that's what it felt like, that he was literally losing his breath. And I think that threw off both of them for the rest of the match, because then you had to take more time.
Yeah.
You had to be more careful. And then Finn Balor gets his jaw broken twice, apparently.
Twice.
I don't know how to feel about that, but I believe Balor will be back. I think they said that he was still champion and he's going to be back pretty soon. But, they were just both hurt. So I think that obviously the potential for that match could have been a lot better, just because the fact that they got hurt.
Do you know what I've noticed?
What have you noticed?
2020, there's been a lot more injuries than previous years.
Yeah, Nia Jax is back.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
No offense, Nia.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I see that. I mean, it's the kind of thing where maybe they get nervous or something, or maybe, one of them, like Kyle O'Reilly's not Finn Balor yet.
Yeah, no.
And he's, true. He's a great wrestler, but he's been doing tag team wrestling for so long.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But I love the fact that Balor retained.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was just trying to get Kyle O'Reilly over as like being more of a threat.
Yep.
Which is fine by me. And yeah, it was a good five good matches. Like NXT always deliver 5 good matches.
Absolutely.
So I don't really want to pick a match of the night because they're all on the same level.
Fair enough. Well, the dice said it was Io Shirai versus Candice LeRae, so
Io and Candice, congratulations on having match of the night.
Congrats.
You didn't even roll it. Like, we can hear it with the mic.
No, I rolled it earlier.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I didn't hear it.
4. Oh, no, you did. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
rolled it
I
across
know what you mean.
4.
All right, I gotcha.
That's it for NXT.
Oh, already?
Unless you had something else to add.
No, I do not. Not right now, anyways.
All right, then that is it for NXT. On to SmackDown.
Question mark?
Yeah, no, I don't know.
What do you want to talk about SmackDown?
Don't have much to talk about. I'll start off with the fact that Jey Uso cleanly beat AJ Styles.
Oh, yeah.
In a great match.
Yeah. I think this is the spiral that is AJ Styles' WWE career.
I
really do. I mean, to be fair, how do you promote someone? You put him against AJ Styles.
Yeah.
But, like, it must be self-demoralizing from him. Like, he literally just wrestled Undertaker at WrestleMania, and what's probably going to be Undertaker's last match.
Yeah, maybe. But I understand, like, why they had to do it that way.
Yeah. They had to push Jey Uso.
They had to push Jey Uso, and there wasn't...
But what's next for AJ?
I think he can still...
Because at this point right now, the only WrestleMania match I see with AJ is for an IC title or just a good match with someone.
You set up like a 6-man ladder match or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It'd be okay.
Yeah.
Right?
But he just, like, to me, he should have won Money in the Bank and be the heel again.
Yeah, definitely.
But, Otis was obviously a bigger priority.
Ah, yes, of course.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't want to see AJ go anywhere else but AEW if he does leave. But I don't want to see him leave. Not yet. He's got too many good guys that he could wrestle right now in WWE that he hasn't wrestled. And he would probably tell you the same thing.
So, all of this Jey Uso, Roman Reigns thing, and like the whole tribal leader thing, like weird angle they're going for, I think is like the perfect setup for The Rock, though, don't you think? Have it so Hell in a Cell happens, Jey Uso loses to Roman, obviously.
No.
And then finally declares Roman to be tribal chief. And then you basically have it so Roman owns the locker room for like a month or two, and then have The Rock kind of come in and be like, you may be the tribal chief of WWE, but you're not the tribal chief here on the island,
here,
tribal king or whatever.
Yeah.
On the island, and then
you can't walk a mile in my shoes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's be real. Like, if it's Roman versus Rock, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
How are they going to book it? We'll see if that is what's actually going to happen. But let's also be realistic that the fact that The Rock might not return.
Yeah.
So you have to figure out who's going to be the next star in WWE.
See, my question is, if they're not bringing in The Rock, why do this whole tribal chief thing?
That's a good point.
What's the angle from that? Like, how do you go further with that? Do they bring Rikishi, and that's the Mania?
Is there another Nia Jax is in that family, isn't she?
Is she?
think so.
I think she's like related, but I don't think she's part of like the.
Yeah, I think she's related to someone. I'm curious now. Keep talking while I Google this.
Yeah, like I mean, I know she's like the size of the island that they live on, but like that, I don't think that makes her related. Zach.
Ooh, Alex. Ooh.
I mean that in the nicest way possible. Now.
Yeah.
Sorry, please don't.
I just put who is Nia Jax.
Please don't treat
related
me like
to. Her actual name is Savelina.
Savelina?
Yeah.
I can't say I've heard that name before.
From her cousin is Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Okay, yeah. Huh.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson's mother is Nia Jax's aunt. That's it.
Okay, so yeah. Guess so.
But she's Australian born.
So are you saying that so it's gonna be Roman Reigns versus Nia Jax at WrestleMania?
Yeah, and then the winner takes The Rock at the next year's WrestleMania.
So Nia Jax wins the match.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And then faces The Rock at the next WrestleMania and then beats The Rock for the championship.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Nia Jax becomes the first
ever women's
43-time 24/7 champion.
I think you're getting mixed up with R-Truth here.
You're right.
Yeah, no, listen, like if it is Roman and Rock, I think a lot of people would be excited. And I think that that's the only way, at this point with this heel character with Roman, who could ever take him down? The Rock?
Yep. Or
do you make Roman that super heel, which you could easily do?
I like the idea of the super heel better, but
so
either one works.
Yep, I agree.
Next up, still on SmackDown, we have The Fiend, who's now feuding with Kevin Owens.
Yeah, wasn't he feuding with Aleister Black?
He still is.
Did I miss that?
No, that's still happening though.
Okay.
Because Kevin Owens had his Kevin Owens show with Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
And then that's when The Fiend came in and attacked him.
Yeah.
But at the end of that, Aleister Black attacked Kevin Owens.
So I think they're going to set up Alexa being more prominent in this Fiend relationship she has.
Yeah. So
I think that whatever match they have tomorrow night or tonight when this podcast gets released, hopefully, that,
yeah,
their character gets put up and something like that. But yeah, exciting is a word I'll use.
You know what I think this might be kind of setting up? It won't be like a big long-term thing or anything like that, but potentially a match between The Fiend and Aleister Black, which I think that would be pretty interesting. I could see some good promos from that.
I'd rather see Aleister Black versus Kevin Owens first.
I mean, yes.
Just because I want to see Aleister Black get a win.
Yeah, that's true. He hasn't gotten
He's not going to win. Yet. He's not going to win against The Fiend, Alex. Sorry, let's be real.
He doesn't have to win against The Fiend. I just think the promos would be great. I feel like there's a lot of things they could do with that.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, I do want to see it.
I'd rather see Aleister win right now
with
the character he is than the Kevin Owens versus The Fiend.
It's just, the more that I'm thinking of it, I don't see Aleister Black actually winning the feud with Kevin Owens now.
I want to,
but I don't see what's the booking.
I guess this isn't want. This isn't a want podcast.
Yeah, I kind of.
Yeah, no, I agree, 100% though.
Yeah, I don't know what you do with Aleister Black if you make him win. It's kind of odd.
It's just Kevin Owens is established more. I think that if Aleister wins against Kevin Owens, it makes, not only does it make more sense.
Yeah. It's
just you have a chance to make a better superstar if Aleister beats Kevin.
Okay.
That's how I see it, anyways.
All right, yeah, that's fair enough. Anyways, that's all we have for SmackDown. Didn't have much. There wasn't much that really happened since Clash of Champions.
No.
Even on Raw.
It's kind of weird. There's kind of the weird kind of booking right now.
Yeah.
Just we're kind of waiting for what's going to happen for Survivor Series.
I kind of feel like the period between Clash of Champions and Hell in a Cell is kind of just filler.
Yep.
There isn't really much. We're just waiting to see what
we're waiting for a Big Four pay-per-view. It's always been like that. Every time there's a Big Four pay-per-view on the way. Yeah. And the problem with all of that is there's a lot of downtime because you have Survivor Series in November.
Yeah.
And 2 months later you have the Rumble. And 2 months later you have WrestleMania. Then you have this gap from early April, late March to August of SummerSlam, which is the next Big Four.
Yep.
And then in August, you only have to wait 3 months for Survivor Series. So they have their big three in those 9. Was it 9 months? Yeah, I guess it's 9 months. But then, like, I don't know. I feel like there's just a lot of downtime between WrestleMania and SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, on to Raw. I was supposed to say on SmackDown. We were already on SmackDown.
We're going off tonight.
On to Raw. Which Raw, I don't have much to talk about.
There's one thing we have to talk about,
and it's going to be a fun discussion.
I think it's going to be like a 25-minute discussion at least.
Which is
fuck it, let's start right now.
Yeah, I mean that's all I have to say about Raw. Anyway,
then let's do it.
It's Retribution.
Yes, they have a leader. It's the hacker,
Mustafa Ali.
Yeah.
Zach is pretty happy and enthusiastic.
I'm loving this.
I, on the other hand, very much dislike this.
So we have a debate.
Woo!
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Why not?
All right, I want to hear your thoughts. Why do you like this? Why do you think this is good? How do you think they book this? And who is Byron Saxton?
That last one is irrelevant. Listen, I love a good swerve.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I can't say I expected it.
Exactly. That's the first thing you got to realize. Yeah. Nobody's expected this. But when you look at the storyline of the hacker, and you look at how Ali was brought back as being like the nice baby face,
yeah,
that to me that made a lot of sense. He goes right in front of them, all of a sudden turns around, says "get him," and everybody listens to him.
Mm-hmm.
Look, this group has been a roller coaster ride from the start.
Mm-hmm.
From destroying everything to giving people the interest,
yeah,
to all of a sudden revealing who some of these guys are,
mm-hmm.
and then realizing how stupid they look,
mm-hmm.
and how the masks make no sense, to all of a sudden giving them the quiet leader that nobody saw coming. This is an astronomical push for Mustafa Ali.
Mm-hmm.
He's the leader of this group now. His promos are gonna have to be off the charts,
mm-hmm.
and can he deliver those promos? Waits to be seen.
Yeah.
But does it make sense to you right now that Mustafa Ali could be a champion?
First of all, I'm a huge fan of Mustafa Ali. I'd like to say that.
Yeah.
I love this guy. I think
love
he's entertaining in the ring. He can put on great matches and stuff.
He needed this.
I agree he needed a push. The reason that I don't like this, and I don't like him being the leader, one is because I don't think the Retribution needed a leader. I think it was better if they didn't have one.
Yes, but that's part of the roller coaster ride.
Sure.
Because like we said on this podcast, we wanted them just to beat the shit out of everyone and not reveal who they were for a long time.
Yeah.
But they went with the revealing of who they were.
Yeah.
So it only made sense to give him a leader at that point.
Sure. My second thing with that is, if you do give them a leader, I feel like it has to be someone that's established and has not necessarily momentum, but credibility as being a leader.
I respectfully disagree, and I'll tell you why. Because this group was already known to be an underground group.
Yes.
Having an underground kind of leader person brings more to the team than a Kevin Owens or someone that would be bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So having this underground leader kind of person that's quiet and all that stuff that
mm-hmm.
acts like a hacker would, to me, this was the perfect marriage. It just first of all, I'm not saying this is my bad booking.
Yeah,
it could have been. This should have finished the show. That did not finish the show.
100% agree with that.
Should have finished the show.
Yeah.
And the top 10 on Raw this week for their YouTube channel was not this number one, and I was crazily shocked.
Right.
The thing about it is now is that you have this leader character that can only use these guys to destroy everything.
Mm-hmm.
Mustafa Ali could be a champion right now, and I would believe it, just because he's the leader of this group.
Yes.
He doesn't even have to talk or anything. He could just be a U.S. champ all of a sudden, and I would believe it a lot more.
Yes.
The legitimacy of this group rests on him, which is amazing pressure.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I'm intrigued again.
Yeah.
I lost interest when they started having these stupid names. All of a sudden, he's in charge. I'm interested again. I want to see. I want to see the Survivor Series match, and I want to see them destroy whoever. And think about this for a booking, okay? Say they would, not the Hurt Business, say they would just put them up against 5 guys from Raw that are just sick and tired of Retribution.
Yeah.
Okay? Because we don't want to hurt the Hurt Business while doing this, okay?
Sure.
Why not make them win a Survivor Series match 5-0? We've never seen that.
See, the only problem with that is that they've already lost, or not necessarily lost, but they've already been shown to have very, very weak moments. So that for them to have a convincing 5-0 victory is just kind of left field and makes no sense.
Without a leader, I agree, but now they have a leader.
Even then,
the leader's directing the traffic. The leader can say, tag this guy in, go in there, get him, destroy this guy. Okay, I'm going to go in, pick up the scraps. Okay, I'm tagging you guy in, you're fresh, you haven't gone yet. It's the whole group now.
See, I think that angle would make more sense if the people in Retribution were more, I guess, flashy, or no, not flashy, that's the wrong term, sorry. More technical.
Okay.
If they were more technical wrestlers, then yes, maybe.
Dijakovic's a great wrestler, dude.
Dijakovic is one hell of a wrestler. I 100% agree, but
Mustafa Ali's a great wrestler.
Yes, but is he going to be in the matches, or is he going to be directed? Okay.
Yeah, I think he's in the matches, but he still directs.
I don't know.
If it's a 5-on-5 match, yes, but
it depends on who the 5 guys are. Because if
you just put the 5 baby faces, doesn't matter who they are. Do you want some names? You want me to give you some names?
Okay.
Let me just go back here.
All right. Yeah, give me 5 names, and I'll tell you if I think that
because they have to be 5 guys that are a little bit established, not overly established.
Yeah, I agree. You couldn't tell a Drew McIntyre.
No, of course not. Where was the list? How do I look at this? Give me a sec here.
Yeah, no worries.
Just keep talking about shit.
Yeah, I will keep talking. Because, I think the one thing with Retribution...
Okay, I got the list. Shut up.
Oh, okay.
Humberto Carrillo.
Okay.
Elias.
Is Elias a face?
Okay, maybe not Elias.
Yeah.
Ricochet.
Okay.
Shorty G.
Okay.
There's another good face here.
Apollo Crews.
Akira Tozawa.
Yeah.
But here's who I would make as the leader of that group.
Okay.
Daniel Bryan.
No.
Here's why. Listen.
Okay.
Who would be a good person for Mustafa Ali to go against first?
Daniel Bryan.
Okay. How do you think that Daniel Bryan would get revenge on, say, he was the last guy left against 5? Challenge Mustafa Ali to a match. You can make Daniel Bryan win a mid-card belt.
Yeah. You
can make Daniel Bryan wrestle Sami Zayn for the belt because Sami beat Daniel for it.
Uh-huh.
And then have a US match, Daniel versus Mustafa. You make Mustafa win. You know that's going to be a good match.
I just don't see Daniel Bryan being in charge of those guys. That's my problem.
But he wouldn't be in charge of the guys. He'd just be the guy that they were all look up to because he's a world champion before. Daniel Bryan's not doing anything right now. He only needs to work 3 months, 4 matches.
Smackdown.
It doesn't matter. There's a draft.
Draft.
Doesn't matter. There's a draft.
Yes.
So just think about that because I'm intrigued. I'm all in for this group now.
Okay.
I hope they book it well. Obviously they won't, but you can even put Dominic Mysterio in that match. Why not?
You could.
Why not?
I think.
Or AJ Styles.
No.
AJ Styles versus Mustafa Ali would be amazing as well. But again, I think Daniel Bryan would make more sense.
Not saying I disagree with that, because that would be an amazing match. I do want to see that now.
Yeah. Set it up for...
I don't think it makes sense for AJ Styles to feud with Retribution.
Because let's put it this way. The Rumble's coming up.
Yeah.
Okay? Is it going to be one of those Rumbles like the Core and Nexus just taking up 9 spots?
Is it going to be a 40-man Rumble?
I hope. But say they're not in the Rumble.
Yeah.
Okay? Well, if you put Hurt Business in the Rumble by himself, that's okay. That's 4 spots. That's like the New Day taking 3 spots. Okay? You know what I mean by that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Okay. I'm just thinking about it.
But if you put Retribution in that's 10 spots all of a sudden. If you put Mustafa Ali versus Daniel Bryan for the U.S. title, Retribution isn't in the Rumble because they don't have to be.
Yeah.
Mustafa Ali has his match with Daniel Bryan, wins the belt, and then you can set up not a Daniel Bryan, but a Mustafa Ali versus whoever for the U.S. Championship at WrestleMania. Because you don't have to make Mustafa Ali go for the big belt right now.
What if the play here is you don't have Retribution in the Rumble, but you have Mustafa Ali in the Rumble, and he comes out with all of Retribution?
But we just saw that with Seth Rollins.
But in the Rumble.
Yeah, I know, but we saw that with Seth Rollins. I know that. I agree with you.
We didn't see it to the extent of Retribution.
No, I agree, but, you know.
Mustafa Ali walking down to the ring with 20 guys. Storming the ring, eliminating everyone from the ring.
Is it 20?
As entry number, 17.
And then just eliminates everyone.
That's
the Brock Lesnar rule, though.
And stands in the ring with 15 other guys.
Yeah.
And just waiting for everyone else to come out.
Yeah, but that was the Nexus thing, wasn't it? 2011, CM Punk. No, was it 2011?
I guess, but they were.
Yeah, it was 2011.
But they were in the Rumble. This time, Mustafa would be the only one in the Rumble.
I gotta watch that Rumble again. 2011, that was a good one. The 40 man, it was pretty good. Yeah. It was well booked.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's. I'm excited. I really am excited. I know the names are kind of stupid.
Yeah.
I wish they would have kind of stayed with their kind of character.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think I said this before. Dominic Dijakovic could have just been Dom.
Yeah.
Or Dio Madden could have been Dio.
Mm-hmm.
Just small names. But hey, I'm excited.
Yeah, I think you. I think you said it best when you said that it rests on the shoulders of Mustafa Ali kind of here with the promos and stuff like that. So I have high hopes, but if he delivers, then
astronomical push.
Fucking pro.
Here's another two guys that you could have put in that Survivor Series match: Miz and Morrison.
Yeah, I mean yes, but why would you?
Bigger faces, bigger names than Apollo. Bigger name than
you would have to get them implicated with. I mean, you have time.
You could have. They'd just be bigger names than Apollo and.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you could put Drew Gulak in there, I guess, if you're looking for something for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's be real. Mustafa, T-Bar, Mace, Slapjack, Reckoning, and Retaliation. I am watching you guys from now on because the swerve that is. Mustafa Ali being a leader. Yep. This is a career-changing moment for sure.
Oh, yeah.
For the last, 3 years, Mustafa Ali has just been the 205 Live pretty boy.
Yep.
Not taking the underdog role.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, he's literally friggin' a leader of a heel group.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't see it coming. Excited to see it going.
Yeah.
Bring the Rumble, baby. I'm excited.
Mm-hmm. All right, Zach, on to bad booking.
It's bad booking time.
Let's go.
So the bad booking this week is not necessarily a bad booking. It's kind of more of an observation, and I don't know if it has to do with bad booking or just how Vince likes his female division and Trips likes his female division. But I'm just gonna name off the names of all the girls in this division on Raw and SmackDown. Okay.
Yep.
Asuka, Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair, Dana Brooke, Mickie James, Naomi, Mandy Rose, Baszler and Jax, Bayley, Carmella, Nikki Cross, Lacey Evans, Charlotte when she's there, Billie Kay, Lana, Natalya, The Riot Squad, Peyton Royce, Tamina, and Zelina Vega. I'm asking you this question, and I want you to think about it long and hard.
Hey.
That's pretty good.
That's the amount of...
How many of those would you keep right now?
Okay, I'd get rid of 8.
Think about the question.
As you were naming those names, I counted 8 females that I was like, I really don't care what happens to these people.
So 8.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll name the names and you'll say if they're one of them, okay?
Okay.
Asuka, you want to keep.
Keep.
Banks, you want to keep.
Keep.
Belair.
Keep.
Brooke.
Get rid of.
Okay, Dana Brooke. Mickie James.
Keep.
Naomi.
I'd keep Naomi. She can work. Is she injured? She hasn't done anything recently.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of heat for her because she didn't like what they were booking for her, but whatever. Mandy?
Well, that's a tough one, but I think I'd get rid of Mandy.
Baszler?
Keep.
Jax?
Yeah, keep.
You want to keep Nia Jax?
I want to keep them both together for now.
Okay. Bayley?
Keep.
Alexa?
Good keep, yeah.
Carmella?
I get rid of.
Nikki?
I keep Nikki.
Lacey Evans?
I get rid of Lacey. I don't like Lacey. I know a lot of people do. I don't like Lacey.
I just like her character. As a wrestler, she's not really...
I can't stand it.
Anyways, I'm putting Lacey because you said
I can see why you'd want to keep Lacey.
Charlotte, you obviously want to keep.
Yeah, I keep Charlotte.
Billie Kay.
Get rid of Billie.
And there's a pattern here of how they wrestle. Have you noticed that?
We'll talk about that after because I didn't know.
Okay, Lana. I'm already right.
Yeah, get rid of Lana.
Natalya.
I would get rid of Natalya, but I can see why people would keep her. I just never liked Natalya.
Riot Squad.
I'd keep Riot Squad.
As a tag team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peyton Royce.
I'd keep Peyton. I liked her match.
I'm already going to write down Tamina.
Yeah.
And Zelina Vega. I presume you'd keep. Okay.
I would keep Zelina.
So you were right. That's 8 people. So that leaves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Okay.
15. Okay, so 15 girls.
Mm-hmm.
I would even keep less of this.
Okay.
Okay, here are the names that I wouldn't keep.
Okay.
To add to your list.
Yeah.
I keep Asuka.
Yeah.
I keep Banks.
Mm-hmm.
I keep Belair.
Mm-hmm.
Mickie James, to me, if she could still have a championship run or something like that, like in the last 4 years,
mm-hmm.
I would have kept. But to me, Mickie James is just a Natalya. She's a good worker, but she's a good worker for the type of talent they have on the show right now.
Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Naomi, I'm not actually sure.
Mm-hmm.
Because what's Naomi besides the Kofi Kingston Rumble spots?
I think she wrestles solid.
She's a good wrestler.
I think she does solid.
She's got a great entrance.
Yeah. She's okay on the mic. She's not bad. But
yeah, she's not bad.
She's not like.
But she's not.
Great.
Is she? Yeah, that's the question. Is she that great?
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna write her name down, but I still like her. I'm just saying who I would get rid of.
Yeah.
For the safety of my roster,
Nia
Jax is not staying.
Okay. That's understandable. I understand why you would do that. Yeah.
I'm gonna keep Nikki Cross because of you.
Interesting.
But I
think
if she was still the psycho character, I would have kept her for sure.
Yeah, I don't know why she's not though.
Exactly. She's like in the middle of both, right?
Yeah, like bring her back to how she was in NXT.
Exactly.
That was sick.
Lacey Evans to me was someone I thought of just because of her character.
Okay.
But I would love Lacey Evans more as a manager than as a wrestler.
Yeah.
Because of her character.
Like a manager or like a general manager or something like that.
Yeah.
Give her the page.
The only reason I keep the Riot Squad
is
because they're a tag team.
Yeah.
It's the only reason.
Yeah.
If they're singles, they're gone.
Yeah. 100% agree.
Okay. I'll keep Peyton Royce because of the untapped potential.
Hell yeah.
And I'll keep Zelina Vega because of the untapped potential.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So there's 23 girls.
Yeah.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So now there's 12.
Yeah.
I just took off 11 girls off the list.
Yeah.
Now there's 12. So that means there's 6 girls per Raw, 6 girls on SmackDown, and one of them's a tag team.
Yep.
So then they don't have any tag team wrestlers right now.
Yep.
You want to look at the NXT women's roster for a second?
See, if you pull up the NXT roster, I don't think I'd be able to get rid of anyone.
That's not my point. My point is coming on the way. You'll see.
I'm still waiting. Because the NXT does have one hell of a roster.
I gotta find it first.
You do have to find it. Because I can't really remember the last time the female division in NXT had some kind of booking that I thought was like really bad or not great.
Okay, Candice LeRae.
Okay, yeah. Keep for sure.
Dakota Kai.
Yeah, you keep that.
Ember Moon.
You gotta keep that.
Finn Balor. No, I'm kidding.
Nah, you got rid of Finn Balor. Worst diva.
Io Shirai.
Yeah, you keep Io. Definitely.
What do you think of Casey Catanzaro?
Love her. Yeah. Great.
What do you think of Kaylee Ray? Have you seen any of her work?
No. I haven't seen any of her.
Okay, but I have, and I would put her, but since you don't know, I'm not going to put her, but she could be in there, let's just say. Who else is in here? Mercedes Martinez.
Yeah,
she's in Retribution, but let's say
no, she's fine.
She's in Retribution.
Yeah.
Mia Yim.
Yeah, keep for sure.
Rhea Ripley.
Oh, nah, get rid of her. I'm kidding.
You're a dummy.
Yeah.
Shotzi Blackheart.
I love her. She's so entertaining in the ring.
If it wasn't for her injuries, Tegan Knox would be on the list.
Okay.
But she's been injured too many times.
I would keep Tegan.
You would keep her?
Of course.
Okay. To me, she's injured a little bit too much.
Okay.
See, but I would see her there.
I don't know if the injuries are her fault or not, though. That's the thing. I haven't been keeping
It's not really her fault. But,
yeah.
I mean, first of all, it's an ACL.
Oh, okay.
ACL is hard to come back from in any sport.
Very true.
Okay. Candice, Dakota, Ember Moon, Io Shirai, Casey Catanzaro, Mercedes Martinez, Mia Yim, Rhea Ripley, Shotzi Blackheart.
Yep.
9.
Yeah.
Would you trade those 9 for the 11 that I have on the list? The fact that you're not saying yes right now is blowing my mind.
The fact that I'm not saying yes is because I'm not understanding how the question is formed. Am I NXT or am I?
Okay, listen to this. Okay.
Yeah.
The 4.
Okay.
Charlotte, Bayley,
Yeah.
Banks, Becky.
Yes.
Who have they faced?
Yeah.
I guess Asuka. I'll put Asuka in that category, and you could kind of put Alexa Bliss, but she's been injured a lot.
Yeah.
Of those 6, have they had good matches against any of these? Like a marquee match against any of these 11 people?
The fact that there's no match that comes to my mind right now, no.
Any of those 6 versus Candice LeRae? Any of those 6 versus Dakota Kai? Any of those 6 versus Ember Moon as soon as she gets back to full health and does well on an NXT run? Against Io, against Casey, against Mercedes, against Mia Yim, against Rhea Ripley, against Shotzi Blackheart.
Yeah.
This NXT roster is fighting against themselves, making themselves better to go on the main roster to fight these 11 girls that I've named to devalue those 9, is it 8 or 9? Those 9 girls.
Yeah. Wow.
Have you ever thought of that?
Wow.
Asuka was tagging this week with Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, Alex.
Wow.
Nia Jax has put Lana through a table the same way 3 weeks in a row. It's not because they can't work. It's because they're limited in their work. They don't have a choice here. The only person here that would kind of make sense to kind of keep because of the potential is Mandy Rose. I think, my opinion. Let me look at the list again. Besides Lacey Evans' character, that's what I've seen. You have these 8 girls in NXT right now that Triple H is keeping because he knows that he's building these 8 to take on the big 4 or the big 6.
Yeah.
There's a tag team. There's a tag team right here in Mercedes Martinez and Mia Yim in Retribution.
Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't for Retribution, you could have easily made a Rhea Ripley, Mercedes Martinez tag team. That would have gone very well versus Jax versus Shayna, I do have to admit.
Yep.
Io Shirai versus Asuka would tear the house down.
Do you know...
Candice LeRae and Kacy Catanzaro, the high-flying women's tag team. We haven't seen that yet.
That's true.
Like, why are these in NXT?
Do you know what would kind of make a good tag team to go against Nia Jax and Shayna?
Go ahead.
I don't think they will do this, but I could see... why is the name blanking? Rhea Ripley as like the counterpart to Shayna, and you have Shotzi Blackheart as the counterpart to Nia.
I think it's the other way around.
No, I disagree.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
But what's NXT to the WWE? It's the developmental program.
Yeah.
Those 8 girls are more developed than the other 11 girls.
Yeah, that's true.
How do you make a star in developmental? You change the roster dramatically by putting those 8 girls that I named on the main roster and those 11s in developmental. All of a sudden, because of the way NXT is, you're forcing these 11 girls to have NXT type of matches, which will boost their career.
Yeah.
These 8 girls that are here don't need those NXT matches anymore. They just need the bigger stage. They've wanted to make the female wrestling a product and not only hair pulling and all that stuff. They have the product. It's in NXT.
Yep.
Why isn't it not on the main roster? Why do you think that NXT is higher in the ratings?
Yeah, the reason it's not on the main roster is because the main roster is still run by Vince and his creative team and stuff like that.
Exactly.
You don't want to ruin these
like
amazing performers.
Say, okay, for instance, okay, who is the one person here that would make sense to be NXT champion right now from the 11? Probably Nia Jax, right? Probably. You could argue a few of those, but say it was Nia Jax, okay? You could argue more there, but let's just say it's Nia.
Okay.
If it's Nia versus Tamina all of a sudden for the NXT championship, like that would boost Nia's career. That would boost Tamina's career. It'd be a big girls match, but I would be interested in that. Am I interested in seeing Nia Jax versus Tamina now on the main roster? Hell no.
See, I think definitely on the main roster I would not want that. But in NXT, I would only want it if it was like some match with stipulation, like some kind of like no DQ match or something. I would not want to watch just a regular match of that.
That's fine.
But I would love to see them put each other through tables and stuff like that and have like a hardcore match.
And I didn't put Sonya Deville because she's not on WWE right now, but she would have probably been in the list. It would have made 12.
Yeah.
There's potential here. Lacey Evans could easily be NXT Women's Champion right now. It makes sense. Natalya having that last kind of run could make sense. Naomi could have a championship match. Mickie James, same thing as Natalya. You could have a Mickie James versus Natalya match for the NXT championship. Would it be a good technical match? Maybe. Would they frig up? Maybe. But they're in the developmental, so they're going to get help after the show. They're not going to just go home and finish their day. Carmella could be an NXT champion. To me, this roster needs to be flipped around. If you want to have solid women's wrestling, and that's what Steph wants, because she's been fighting for it with the Rumble, with the main event of WrestleMania, with all that stuff, put the girls that are working hard in NXT right now, that are actually wrestling the way that Trips is showing them, which I'm sure Steph is heavily involved, instead of these 11 girls instead. Like, you could have dream matches, man. Like, I'm telling you, Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte happened at WrestleMania, and everybody was excited for that.
Yeah, and it was a great match.
It was a great match. See, a High Flyers match, Kacy Catanzaro versus Candice, which I said would be an amazing tag team to be together. That would work for me. Have a 4 versus 4 Survivor Series like match, or a 5 versus 5. Throw Asuka in there and pick who you want.
See,
of those 8,
what you're saying makes 100% sense. And it's what should happen, but it can't happen with Vince there.
It's not going to happen with Vince there. That's why it's a bad booking.
It should not happen with Vince there.
That's the way I see it. And, you know, I get that I would be breaking up a Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax tag team.
Oh, no.
Whatever. Who cares? Right?
Yeah.
So, that was my bad booking segment.
All right, no, good segment. very much agree with that. 100%.
It's not necessarily a booking, but it's just me being like, just open your eyes. How are you missing the fact that you want stronger women's wrestlers?
Yeah.
If the only person of NXT you've pushed in the last year on the main roster was Rhea Ripley for 2 weeks.
For like 1 match.
2-3 weeks.
Yep, I agree. Wow. All right. So we're moving on to the creative team corner.
Yeah, I have to answer your creative team.
That's correct.
So, just a question real quick. Is it something that's going to happen, or is it something that's already happened?
So the way this segment works is it can be either.
Okay.
For this, it's something that has happened. I'm going to ask you... I'm going to be kind of specific about the question.
Okay.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
So, our topic today is the Montreal Screwjob. And my question for you...
I know a lot about the Screwjob.
What?
This is going to be fun. I know a lot about the Screwjob.
Good. I'm very excited about this.
I might have a quick answer, though, but we'll see.
So, everyone watching or listening, I'm assuming knows about the Montreal Screwjob and what happened and stuff.
Why are you listening to the podcast if you don't know anything about the Montreal Screwjob? Thanks to all my friends that support this podcast.
Yeah, and I remember listening to, I think it was The Undertaker talking about the Montreal Screwjob and how it happened and stuff like that, because he was...
He was a locker room leader.
Yeah, he was a locker room leader, and he was sort of implicated. Not that he knew it was going on or anything, but like afterwards, he was there to kind of...
Yeah, because he had to relay Vince's message to the boys.
Yeah,
and then
he had to make sure that things didn't escalate too much.
Exactly, and then Vince was like, don't worry, I'll explain it to you, and then I'll explain it to everyone, which was very honorable from Vince. Go ahead, what's your question?
Yeah, so Undertaker was giving like his own sort of semi-solution, but not really solution to the Screwjob and how it could have been resolved. And my question to you is, do you think that you would have been able to book that night so that Brett and Shawn could have both been happy with the decision?
But I think you'd book it exactly how Undertaker says it. Should have been a triple threat match with Taker in there. Put Taker in there. Mm-hmm. Brett has no problem losing it to Taker, and he's said that many times.
Okay.
Make a storyline where Taker beats both of them. Mm-hmm. You can first of all, okay. Something that nobody has to realize. Well, I'm sure some people have realized it, but something I realized was it wasn't Shawn's decision to be champ.
Yeah, that's true.
Vince went to Brett and said, "We're going to put the belt on Shawn."
Yes.
Which pissed off Brett because of how Shawn was acting at the time. If you would have told Shawn you're not winning the belt, or not even mention that he was going to win it, just say you're going to be in a triple threat match at Survivor Series, Taker, Brett, Shawn.
Yeah.
Marquee, and that's a marquee match right there. You could have probably sold more tickets with Taker in that match.
Yeah. Did Taker have a match that night? I don't think he did.
I would Google it, but my laptop just died.
All good.
But I would have booked it the same way Taker said, literally.
Yeah.
Make Taker win the belt, and then have Shawn win it at WrestleMania. It's a bigger moment for Shawn if he wins it at WrestleMania against Undertaker.
True.
Which they've had amazing matches.
Yeah.
But the problem with that, now I'm realizing, is if you would have had that Undertaker-Shawn match at WrestleMania, would you have had those two big matches they had to finish Shawn's career? Probably.
I think it would make more sense to have those matches.
Yeah.
I think it makes those matches better.
Yeah. See, that's at that point where I would be like, yes, that would make a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then Brett just wanted to drop it to someone that was proven enough to him. And there's not a bigger proven guy than Undertaker.
Yeah.
So, if you tell Brett Undertaker's winning the belt versus you and Shawn at Survivor Series, there's no way Brett would have said no. No way.
Do you think Brett would have said no knowing that Shawn would have won at Mania?
You think? No, because Brett would have been gone. Survivor Series and Mania is 7 months apart? Brett would have been on WCW. And first of all, Brett was sour when he went to WCW because of the way WWE ended. I mean, it's
true. Yeah, that's fair.
It's maybe not 100% true. Maybe Brett was being professional and all that stuff, but he quit WCW 3 months later.
Yeah.
Do you think if that wouldn't have happened, that Brett would have had a better WCW run?
Maybe, but I don't think so, honestly.
But it's something that you would be like, it could have happened.
It's definitely something to question, yeah.
So that's how I see it. Why was that not thought of? Like, to me, you have two guys that hate each other. One that has to lose the belt that night, because if not, he could have brought the belt over to WCW. You had one that refused any kind of job. And then you had, like, what was Vince thinking here?
Yeah.
Vince used this to be the heel character, which was the great... Because everybody came out of it looking good. That's the one thing about the screw job. And I don't believe it was a work.
Yeah.
I believe it was a legit screw job.
Yep.
But everybody came out looking good. Everybody would have came out looking okay. And the business would have been intact if Taker would have won.
See, now I pose a second question to you. Because I also agree with the fact that everyone looks good here. Do you think that the screw job helps Bret's career in a way?
No, because that's all he's going to be remembered for.
Interesting.
It's kind of, I know you don't watch baseball, but you might have seen this blooper. Have you ever seen the guy that got hit in the head, Jose Canseco? He went for a ball, and the ball hit his head, and it went over the fence.
No.
It's the best blooper of baseball ever. If you ever have a chance, go check it out.
Yeah.
Jose Canseco was an all-star. He was a great hitter, great, baseball player.
Yeah.
But what's he going to be remembered for?
Right.
The ball hitting his head, going over the fence.
Yeah.
There's another baseball play that breaks my heart as a Red Sox fan, which is Bill Buckner's ground ball, where he missed a ground ball and the Mets won. Buckner was a hitting champ. He was a home run hitter. He was a great first baseman. But what's everybody going to remember him for? Missing that ground ball.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the first thing you think about Bret Hart is the Montreal screw job.
That's true.
The one thing you want to think about Bret Hart is, what was his nickname? The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. If it wasn't for the screw job, Bret Hart would have probably went to WCW, either figured out it was shitty or wrestled better because no screw job. And who knows, maybe he comes back to WWF during the Austin era, and then he gets a great match with Austin. All this stuff could have happened.
See, that's why, in a way, I kind of feel like the Montreal screw job was kind of good for Bret, in the sense that, like, even after that happened, going into WCW, people want to tune in to watch Bret because he just got screwed. What's he going to do on WCW?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then if he does come back to WWE after, like, holy shit, Bret got screwed by Vince and now he's back. Like, this is huge. You have to watch it.
Yeah, but they did that storyline like 20 years too late.
Yeah.
Fortunately.
Absolutely.
But let's be real, the Montreal Screwjob helped the business in a way because it made Vince the heel that everybody wanted.
It was attraction.
Yeah. Exactly.
Vince knew what he was doing.
I think that Vince could have been still the same heel without the screw job, but I think it might have taken a little more time.
Yeah.
What people don't realize is how much it helped Austin's career.
Explain?
Who was Austin's biggest rival in WWE?
Oh, I guess.
Vince McMahon.
Yeah. Okay.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how I see it. That's how I've always seen it.
Vince knew what he was doing. I think Vince did.
He knew what he was doing, but he was only doing it because both guys were petty and did not want to drop the belt.
Vince had to do something.
Yeah.
And I think Vince's decision was,
to be fair, I think
reasonably justified.
Yeah. To be fair, I think Bret is more petty than Shawn here. I really do. Bret, listen to this.
Yes.
If Bret loses that night, he can literally walk off the next day, go to WCW, get paid all that money, and restart.
Yeah. See,
he had so much love for the craft and the prestige of the title that it got to his head, and there's this little pretty boy that he can wrestle with that he did not appreciate, which, let's be real, Shawn was an asshole back then.
Yeah. You don't have to like Sean.
What did it matter? He was walking away the next day.
See, I think... I don't really know why they didn't... I mean, I know why they didn't do it, I guess. But I feel like they could have... If they really didn't want to make Brett lose to Sean that night, they could have made Brett win the match, but just have him relinquish the title. Like, I don't understand why they couldn't just have him...
Because Brett could have the next day. Brett could have not shown up to Raw and be on WCW, and Vince.
Yeah, but he didn't have to drop it like the next Raw. He could have dropped it at that pay-per-view, beat Michaels, and then just drop it in the ring.
Yeah,
then walk out.
100%.
I feel like that's something that could have happened.
Yep.
And it's
that's another thing. We weren't there. Like Vince was probably scratching his head and. Like, there's a Dark Side of the Ring episode on this, and I don't know if you saw it, but it's it's good. But they were Jim Cornette and Vince Russo were talking about how chaotic it was to try to book this, because like you had one guy didn't want to put the other guy over because he wouldn't put his brothers over.
Yep.
And then you have all of this fighting, all of this stuff, all of this going on. It's a hectic match, but. The first things first, Vince shouldn't have booked this match.
True.
Second thing, Bret Hart should have just been like, I'm leaving the next day, whatever. I'll wrestle a good match and walk off. Because Bret Hart is honorable. That's the other thing that's real.
Yeah.
He's honorable. Why didn't he just be like, okay, I'm putting Shawn Michaels over, I'm leaving the honorable way, and move on. That's what I never got.
Yeah.
And... 3, it should have been Undertaker winning that belt that night. Should have been. If that was the match that Vince wanted, Undertaker should have won the belt.
See, I wonder if that was actually something that came up in discussions, having Undertaker be part of the match or not. Like, I wonder if they actually thought of that back then. I feel like they had to have, like, at least the idea crossed their minds.
See, but I don't know if because they were so concentrated on booking Shawn and Brett that they might have not even like glanced over that.
That's true.
But yeah, the Montreal Screwjob was the Montreal Screwjob for a reason. It's a wrestling history moment.
Yeah,
that's the biggest behind the scenes we've ever seen.
Absolutely,
and I think we'll probably ever see. So, it was chaotic. They made it work after because WCW did crumble. So good on Vince to keep it going after. But for God's sakes, next time, don't book this match. And this is another thing. Vince knew that Brett was going to leave WWE and go to WCW. Why the hell was the belt on Brett?
I mean, Brett didn't want to drop it.
Yeah, but if he drops it 2-3... Say he drops it a month before Survivor Series, okay, and then you can go to Brett and be like, you want a good match to get out of here? Here's Undertaker. Go ahead, wrestle Undertaker 1-on-1. Even make him drop the belt to Taker a month before and have Undertaker versus Bret Hart a great match and make Undertaker retain.
Yep.
But they didn't see that at the time. They went with what they thought was right, and that's all I got to say about the screw job.
Yeah, fair enough.
It was I wish I would have been a part of that. I wish I would have been there when I was that age for sure.
Absolutely.
But at 2 years old. Were you even born when the screw job started? 97?
No.
You were 98, right?
98.
I was 95. I was 2. The big tooth.
Yeah. All right, Zach, fan questions.
We got Patty's questions lined up.
Patty's questions.
Let's see. Let's see what he's got. So before he put the questions, he said, "Can you do the questions above?" Because we didn't release the podcast last week. Pat, we promise.
Oh, yeah.
We answered all your questions from the week before on the other podcast. It's just not come out yet. They will be on the other podcast.
Yep.
So these questions have to do with Wrestling Now. So the first question is, do you think they will try to push Jay Uso, or do you think they are just doing a family rival thing until Jimmy Uso's back?
Yeah, I don't see Jay having the title.
I think it's just good timing for Jay.
Yeah.
You have to push this Roman Reigns heel character, and all of a sudden Jay's good enough to wrestle a few matches.
I think it's just Roman being champion and telling Vince, like, hey, I want to wrestle Jay.
Yeah, because let's be real, the Usos are the bar in tag team wrestling.
Yep.
Not like the bar, but
Yeah.
the measuring stick, if you will.
Yep.
And that's what is missing in tag team wrestling. So I think, if I'm Vince right now and I'm looking at Jey Uso being healthy and Jimmy Uso not ready yet, I'm praying, God, please come back and please be that good team that you were, because we need it right now.
Yeah, it's definitely temporary, but it's not like it's bad.
Yeah,
like it's good TV.
It'll just push Jay a lot more.
Yeah, I like to see Jay in this spot, and it's.
Yeah.
Do you think they're gonna set up a match between Roman Reigns versus Jimmy and Jay?
It'd be a hell of a way to push Roman more.
That'd be a great match.
Yeah,
I would love to see that.
Yeah, depending on that'd be pretty good.
Yeah,
as long as he's not tagging with King Corbin.
True.
Second question: by AJ Styles losing to Jey Uso, do you think WWE are putting him in a lower tier? You misspelled tier, by the way, Pat. You put like a crying tear. Love you.
No.
Pat.
I think no.
I think so.
My reasoning for it is because he went from the Intercontinental Championship picture straight to the main title.
Yeah, but he lost.
He still went straight up to the main title, though.
But was it the Jay versus AJ for the championship match?
No, but it was a number one contenders match.
It's kind of a filler match.
It was still like a number one contenders match in which...
Yeah, I guess if AJ would have won, he could have made an argument.
Yeah.
But he didn't win. He lost. So I'm just scared to see what's going to happen with AJ at this point.
I feel like...
Does he get drafted to Raw?
I'd be okay with that.
Who's he shooting with?
Bobby?
If the club was there, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. AJ had the whole roster in front of me. My laptop died.
AJ NXT?
No, AJ wouldn't. No, there's too many good people in NXT for AJ to go over. They need more good people on the roster. And the final question that Pat has asked us is: how long do you think the Orton and Drew feud will last? And what outcome do you think will happen in the end? Here's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah.
I think that Orton will win it Hell in a Cell.
Mm-hmm.
He'll do some kind of Viper thing to win it. I don't know what the next pay-per-view is after that. Usually December is
Survivor Series.
Oh, that's Survivor Series. Okay, so have Orton win at Hell in a Cell. Have Drew versus Orton again at Survivor Series one more time. Have Orton win and try to dismantle Drew's career or something, like do a punt or whatever. Have Edge return that night if he's healthy, and then set up the WrestleMania feud from there. Because the way that they can do it is the same way they did it with Sting and Triple H. You just have the big moment at Survivor Series, and then you can have some time and blah blah blah. Take some more time to recover or whatever. Go to the Rumble, have another face-off there, and then you can set up the feud for WrestleMania. That's how I see it. Or if they might just have Drew win again at Hell in a Cell, and that's it for Orton, and then Orton can be Survivor Series team captain or something.
Yeah.
Drew can be in the match for champion versus champion, which could happen to Randy too, I guess, now that I think about it. But he would have to... Yeah, you could do it that way, actually. You could do like say Randy wins at Hell in a Cell, and then he doesn't fight Drew at the next pay-per-view. It's champion versus champion. Then you could have Randy versus Drew one last time at the December pay-per-view, which is usually TLC. Have Randy win there, and then have Edge return at the Rumble again. Why not? And but not end the Rumble match. Let's just say Edge would return and kick Randy's ass or something in whatever match he's going to have. So I think that the Randy Orton Drew McIntyre feud, the earliest it could finish would be Hell in a Cell if Drew wins. The latest it could finish would probably be either TLC or Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I don't see it going past Hell in a Cell personally. I think it has to end at Hell in a Cell. I think Randy has to win it. Put Drew out for a bit maybe. Because otherwise it doesn't make sense. If you make Drew win, if you make Randy win and Drew's not out for a bit, then it just prolongs the feud. You can't really just stop it there. But if you put Drew out for a while, it works. You can set up Edge, like you said, at Rumble or whatever, not in the Rumble match, but just attacking Randy or something like that.
Because I feel like that's too good of a WrestleMania match to not happen, right?
Oh my god, the wind outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, Edge is coming back. The wind is picking up. And but I mean, it's if it was someone that wasn't Randy Orton, I would want it to be over by now.
Yeah.
Drew would already have been established with 2 wins, but I think that the roster's a little thin right now, so I think it would make sense for it to be Randy Orton. I don't see Drew. I don't see Randy Orton not winning the belt.
Yeah, I don't see any sense in Drew winning this next match. That would be bad booking in my mind.
Yeah, because
I could not believe
the only way to me that it would make sense is if Drew McIntyre wins Hell in a Cell and somebody comes back to take on Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, but who would that be?
That's the point.
There's no one big enough for that to matter.
That's exactly what I mean.
No one big. Unless it's Edge.
No.
But I don't want to see that.
No, because I think I said this before. At a certain point of time, you have to reward the guys that have been, doing all the good stuff in the months leading up to the Big Four, and to me, that's Randy Orton. Okay,
weird question. Edge versus Orton at Mania.
Edge.
No, that's the one I'm asking.
Sorry.
Do you think it's possible that we see Edge do a heel turn for that?
No.
No?
No. Orton's heel is too strong. It's just a storyline right now. Edge is returning. As soon as Edge returns again from this injury, he's going to be a face. He's absolutely going to be a face. You're just going to have to hear "You Think You Know Me," and the whole crowd's going to go nuts.
Because what if that's how the Hell in a Cell match ends? It's just Edge coming back, attacking Orton, but then also attacking Drew.
I think he would still be cheered there.
I mean, he would definitely still be cheered, but that's also because WWE is editing in fan reactions.
No, even at that. Remember when Charlotte attacked the shit out of Ronda Rousey? Charlotte was a heel there, but that was a face turn.
Was Ronda really, face? She was face, but she wasn't really, I don't know.
It was kind of a way to switch both of them from face to heel to face.
I guess, but I never really saw Ronda as face.
Here's my thing to you, okay?
Yeah.
Say this Edge Randy Orton thing actually does happen and they go to Mania. Don't you want to see Edge win the belt at WrestleMania?
Oh, I'd love to see Edge win the belt at Mania.
There's no way you can book that for being a heel if it's against Randy Orton.
Sure you can. If it's heel versus heel.
I don't want to see that.
I would love to see that.
This is what I'd rather see. I'd rather see a face Edge beat Randy Orton than have Randy Orton move to the other brand.
Yeah.
And then there you can make Edge a heel.
Because I think the only way you make Edge beat Orton is if you have an unhinged Edge. You have to have him go crazy. You have to have him.
Yeah, but he's done that as a face.
Has he?
Yeah, he's done that as a face. With the whole Dolph Ziggler stuff, when Vicky Guerrero was against him, he was a face there, and he was going crazy and spearing Dolph out of his shoes.
I guess.
And when he came back at the Rumble and won it.
Yeah, maybe. Okay.
So that's how I see it, anyways. Okay. That's the thing to me that's kind of scary, though, is Vince willing to put the belt on Edge? Because he's only going to be back for a little bit. I'm hoping, yes. But it'll be Vince's choice.
True.
Edge isn't the guy that needs to prove it, but he needs to have a good match.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Can't disagree there.
So thank you, Pat, for the questions once again.
Yes, thank you very much, Pat.
Before we go off, like we said, we're sorry that the last podcast did not release. Alex is doing the best that he can to try to release it.
Processing is a bitch. And hopefully that the first podcast gets released before this one. Yes.
But we will see what happens. Like we said, there might not even be a number 6. We're trying our best. But we'll see what happens. So for our social media stuff, if you want to follow us on Twitter at MWPodcast1, that's MWPodcast1. Email maritimewrestletime@gmail.com if you have any questions you want to send in. If you want to check our YouTube, which is the only place you could hear the podcast right now, Maritime Wrestletime Podcast. Or no, just YouTube Maritime Wrestletime. And on our Facebook at Maritime Wrestletime Podcast. We thank you very much. And have yourself a great day.